What's important? This is a question I've been asking myself more than usual over the last couple of weeks. And as I've reflected on what's important, I've wondered if what's important is unique to me, or if at our core, it's very similar for all of us. Do you know what's important for you? How many hours a day do you spend on the things that are important to you? We live in a culture that is so busy. There's so many distractions and demands for our time. And it's often not until we lose our health, our wealth, or someone we love that we stop and recalibrate and reprioritize our schedules and our life for what's important. It is with a saddened heart that I stand here today and share that that's a picture of me and my dad, that 3 weeks ago today, he passed suddenly. And as a result, I've been asking that question more frequently than usual. What's important? And as I've gone through and reflected and grieved and gone through my process, I've had this immense amount of strength and acceptance for what is. And then I went a little deeper with that to ask, where does this strength come from? Where does this acceptance for what is come from? And I believe it's from my dedication for the last 10 years to personal growth and development. It's from my philosophy for living. And it's from these ideas or values that I do my best to grow into or live by or be reminded of. And so tonight, that's what I wanted to share. Authenticity. Authenticity requires a certain level of vulnerability. It requires to let down the wall, to be real. For me, authenticity is freeing. It's liberating. If I stand here and tell you that I'm nervous to be here or I feel a little bit anxious to give this talk, it frees me because I no longer have to try to pretend that I'm not nervous. I'm just stating it how it is versus painting the picture that's all the bliss of it. It's the duality, the dark, the light. I also believe that when we're authentic, it not only frees me, but it liberates others. Because anyone who has a story that feels like they want to be up on this stage sharing it, but they feel nervous, that they feel that they can't because everybody else, or they may be perceiving that the people that come up and talk have a great story and they're not anxious or they're not nervous, me being authentic, I hope, creates a possibility of liberation in others to know what's possible for them. Communication. I actually wish that our noses grew every time we lied, or maybe a better word is didn't speak our truth. We live in a society where there's a whole bunch of pink elephants in the room, and we go about our life and not acknowledge them, and I think that's a big result of stress and dis-ease in our bodies. I'm a huge advocate for open, honest communication, and I believe that a lot of people shy away from confrontation or their truth because they fear what other people will think or say or possibly hurt someone. And I actually like to reframe confrontation. To me, it's about speaking your truth is inviting someone into an elevated conscious space for a new possibility for them to then speak their truth and come to something different. Connection. There are many types of interactions we'll have and connections that we'll have, some superficial, some deep and heart-centered, and everything in between. For me, I've never been much of a small talker. I like to have deep, heartfelt connections, and this is a picture of a beautiful soul that I met at a networking event, and I'm not sure if it was 2 years ago or recently, because the environment that this event creates is an opportunity for people to be authentic and to speak their truth, and as a result, you get deep and meaningful connections. And those connections lead to stronger relationships. And, sorry, I'm ahead of my slide. The relation and connection to me is what our experience is all about. It's all about the little connections we have that really impact our lives, and that's what our experience, when I start to reflect, it's the experience of the connections and the relationships. And I've been blessed to meet my life's partner, my soulmate, my best friend, and we share a really strong and amazing relationship, because when I met him, it was the first time in my life that I was able to be so authentic, raw, and real with someone and accept the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as a result, our connection was deeper and deeper, and we always speak our truth. Someone once shared an analogy that in all of our relationships, there's a clear glass between us. And the minute we don't speak our truth, it's like throwing mud at that glass. And if you keep walking down that path, eventually you can't see through the glass. So in our relationship, we have an agreement that we don't go to sleep at night unless the glass is clear. And as a result, the depth of our relationships continues to grow. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, but in the uncomfortable, new possibilities become a reality. And when I put it all together, it's through authenticity, connection, open, honest communication, and relationships that we get to enjoy community. And I feel really blessed, especially in times like this in my life, to be surrounded by such an amazing community of women. 3.5 years ago, I set an intention to attract like-minded people who wanted to be the best versions of themselves. And in our society, people are craving community. I only simply had to hold the space, and everybody came. And so what I'd like to say is that if you speak your truth and you step into and own your authenticity, you don't need to look for your tribe. They will come and find you. And so I've been blessed to be surrounded with people like yourself. And Carolyn is doing similar work to me in the world, and I am so blessed, and I just thank you all. We go out there and make community.